All right, everyone, welcome to the Pitch Pass podcast. It is finally here, day before the Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday is upon us.
Yeah.
Brett, how are you feeling? Your Chiefs are in.
Uh, I feel good because this was the matchup that I predicted, but I don't feel good because Philly is so strong.
Well,
So,
yeah, Philly is like essentially going in with like no injuries at this
yeah.
point.
Well, you know what? We are too. We only have Mikol on the injury report, so I feel
Amy Cole,
very good about that. The thing that
Chelsea's
I
back is probably
feel,
fine at this point.
yeah. Uh, the one that I'm really hopeful for is that I want to see Kadarius Toney finish a game.
Yeah, I want to see Kadarius Toney play more than like
Four
five
snaps,
snaps.
yeah. Yeah.
He'll get the ball like three plays in a row,
Yes.
and then he's done.
Yeah.
He'll get you like 30 yards and then be done. It's like,
Uh, I'm
I'm good.
hoping in this game it's going to be at least 90 or more. I
This
have
is-
it projected at 89, but I'm hoping it's more.
Yeah. And also some big things happened. NFL Honors was Thursday night.
Yes. Yeah.
We got to figure out who's going to the Hall of Fame. We got to figure out some award winners. Let's
Yeah.
just dive right into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, I feel like is very well deserved this
Yes,
year.
definitely.
Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State, New York Jet, led all rookie receivers in receiving yards, and did it with questionable quarterback play all
Oh,
year.
definitely. Yeah. Did you see the guy who was one leg away from having it was a $3 bet that he placed and it was one
Yeah.
leg away.
He
That's so
bet Chris
sad.
Olave, bet the wrong Buckeye wide receiver, my friend. Bet Chris Olave instead of Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Um, I know Twitter would have rioted and Brock Purdy would have won
Oh my
Offensive Rookie of
god.
the Year.
I would have. Yeah.
He came in third. Kenneth
Yeah.
Walker came in second, rightfully so. Kenneth Walker had a great year as well.
Agreed.
Um, I just say both the Jets and the Seahawks both had amazing drafts.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Had two
Absolutely.
great draft classes on both sides of the ball as well.
Yeah, for sure. I
Let's go.
I almost prefer the Seahawks draft. I think that they just did so well
Mhm.
in every round getting depth. Because we were just talking about this. Tariq Woolen in the fifth. Like, I'm pissed we didn't get him, but
Yeah, I know. Um, let's go to that now. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner. The Jets cleaned up Rookie of the Year this year, but Tariq Woolen came in second place. Third, Aiden Hutchinson.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
Hutch only got like one vote though. It was sad or something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand. Like to win as an edge rusher, your rookie year,
You have to be
you're
immaculate. Yeah.
you're like low key, like you were the first overall pick.
Yeah.
But like you said, Tariq Woolen, absolute freak, being that fast at 6'4", great
Yeah.
coverage ability. But Sauce Gardner, absolutely special.
Definitely.
Top three
Yeah.
corner coming into the NFL as a rookie.
Insane.
A lot of people are comparing him to like Richard Sherman already.
I think he's very deserving. He's both very physical and very cerebral with his play. The way that he makes moves and the way that he plays, like you can make all the arguments you want, like he gets away with holding whatever, but if you establish very early as a physical corner, they're not going to call you on every play.
Yeah, if you hold every play, they're not going to call
They're
it
not
every
going to call
play.
you. Yeah. Or the refs are not leaving the stadium if they do. Yeah.
Next player, a former Jet, comeback player of the year, Geno Smith. This one. So have you heard some of the controversy with Geno Smith winning this award?
Yeah.
That what are you coming back from outside of just being bad as a Jet
Yeah,
and Giant?
literally. Yeah, that's it. Somebody was like, "Oh, he's coming back from a broken jaw." It's like, come on, man.
Coming back from a broken jaw. Yeah, his teammate fucking punched him.
Uh,
So, in my opinion, I think it should have been Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey.
I was gonna say Christian McCaffrey for me, but
I think it should have been one of the backs.
yeah, I mean, I think either one of those would have been a great choice as well. I understand why it was Gino, and you have to understand so many of these awards are just narrative. That's literally all it is. It's just the voters' preference, but
I mean, the voters are 50 sports writers. They fucking love narrative.
yeah. So
What drives their job?
hey, know what? You got to make that
Speaking,
bag.
speaking of narrative, Brian Dable winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, though,
I'm cool with
he,
it, but
yeah,
it should have been Nick Sirianni.
or Andy Reid, either one.
One of the guys coaching the Super Bowl that like actually, did that much more for their team.
Yeah,
Oh, make the case for Nick Sirianni over Andy Reid just because Andy Reid has Patrick Mahomes.
that's very fair. Yeah, I, I really like what Dable did this year, but I
He did a
do
fantastic
agree
job
with you.
too, but
Yeah,
the Giants ended the year really flat though. Let's also talk about
yes, they
that.
did. They definitely
Back
did.
half of the year was not pretty for them.
Well, you know what? They won a playoff game.
They did win a playoff game. Again, they won the Fraud Bowl, so I'm
That's true.
good for them.
Um,
Um, let's keep
Offensive
going with the
Player of the
awards.
Year, Justin
Offensive Player
Jefferson.
of the Year played in the Fraud Bowl.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson.
yeah. This one,
He deserved
honestly,
it.
I agree that he deserved it, but I also think that you could have gone in the direction of Jalen Hurts.
You could have. You could have definitely went in the direction of Jalen Hurts, and I feel like maybe you should have
Probably.
because there's a bunch of games that Justin Jefferson played to where he did get kind of shut out.
Locked up.
Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson was either feasting for like over 100 yards or being locked up for less than 20.
Literally, yeah. There's like no in between.
But I understand giving it to Justin Jefferson. He played in every single game, and
Yeah.
he's essentially the reason why they beat the Bills.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, it's you could really make an argument for Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase being the best receiver right now, and I would really understand either point. But what I am going to say is, I think Justin Jefferson's game is going to be more sustainable. I think that Justin Jefferson is going to be able to sustain the way that he plays for longer than Jamar Chase will.
Yeah, because he doesn't rely as much on just straight up athleticism.
Yep.
Compared to Jamar just straight up being just
A
more
beast.
athletic
Yeah.
than everyone else on the field.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of being more athletic on the field, let's go to Defensive Player of the Year. I want to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons was on an interview with someone from CBS
Yeah.
a little bit earlier this week during Super Bowl week. And they asked him some questions. One of the questions was like, "Oh, what's a embarrassing song to be on your playlist?" And he said, "Oh, Hips Don't Lie by Shakira." And they're like, "Oh, that's not that embarrassing." And then they asked him straight up, "What is something embarrassing that we don't know about you?" And he straight up looked at this man's eyes and said, "I have a foot fetish."
Oh.
Micah Parsons.
Hey, you know what? Didn't know about that. Didn't need to know about that. But now we do.
And we do. The guy looked at him. He's like, "So you like toes?" He's like, "Yeah."
Hey,
He's like, "Okay then."
you know what? It's better than what we know about OBJ. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So I just found that hilarious and made it even more funny. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year.
You know,
Nick Bosa deserved it. Nick
didn't-
Bosa was the best pass rusher in football this year.
yes, definitely. Didn't
Even
Micah
missing
Parsons
like-
get like he got mostly second place votes is what happened? Yeah.
He didn't get enough first place votes. Chris Jones came in third, so that was
Yes.
awesome.
But Micah
Chris Jones
Parsons was like unanimous second, but everybody was like, yeah, Nick Bosa's better.
Bosa is the best pass rusher in football right now.
Definitely. 100% definitely.
Let's say it's him and Myles Garrett are the two best.
Yeah.
But
It was nice to
Man.
see Chris Jones get votes. Yeah, I agree. That's
it was very nice because Chris Jones had the best year of his career. He was the best defensive tackle in football this year.
yes.
First time we've been able to say someone other than Aaron
Aaron
Donald
Donald.
for once.
Yeah. And I mean, if Aaron Donald had stayed healthy and the Rams had a
Aaron-
chance at this season,
Yeah, if the
different
Rams-
conversation.
If the Rams weren't dog shit this year, then
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. If there's another pass rusher outside of Aaron Donald that could carry his weight, that'd be great.
No
Well,
doubt.
Leonard Floyd's okay. Leonard Floyd's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
But he's not. Not Von Miller.
No. Definitely
I-
not.
Walter Payton Man of the Year, as everyone knows, or maybe you don't know, is essentially the guy who does the most charity work throughout the year or does an amazing job for his community.
Yeah.
Winner this year was Dak Prescott,
Yeah.
and really deserving, great guy.
Agreed.
Lost his mom before he early on in his NFL career. His brother also attempted, like, committed suicide as well. So there's a lot of
Huge
advocating for
advocate for mental
suicide
health.
awareness.
Yes, definitely.
Just great dude. Definitely deserving of the award.
You know, before you got into that, I was going to make a joke about how much he does for the other teams on the field as well, but then I would have just felt bad after you started talking about the good things that he actually does, so.
Yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, the guy whose brother killed himself throws a bunch of picks, man.
Man.
Just dog shit.
Yeah, look. Before we'd gone into the good stuff he does, I was gonna say, he gives the other team chances to win every week too. But
Yeah. Uh, okay, so let's go to the final award we're gonna cover today. Patrick Mahomes is our MVP of the NFL, as a lot of us assumed was gonna happen going into this. Yes, the Funko Pop Patrick
future
Mahomes,
goat, future goat, that's my man right there.
future goat. I I've been seeing people already throwing around the goat for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to do that yet.
the start he's had to his career, uh,
It's, it's fantastic.
unbelievable. Yeah.
You know what's insane to think about?
What's up?
There's still a lot of things in his career that he hasn't caught up with, like Dan Marino for.
Yeah.
If you want to think about how insane Dan Marino is.
Oh, yeah. I talk about goat quarterback. He's so disrespected in every conversation.
Because he never won a Super Bowl.
I
That's
know.
the
That's
only
all
reason.
anybody cares about. It sucks.
I know, ring culture. The ring chase culture is there. It's a team sport.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, I was listening to it. We'll get into that another time. But I was listening to a story about Dan Marino today, and just how great he was. That like coaches of teams facing Dan Marino had to psych them out and say like, "Oh, well, you could never cover a guy that he's gonna pass to anyway because he's just that good." Things
He's
like
just
that.
gonna literally just put the ball in the perfect spot
Perfect
for him.
spot, yeah.
That's something that Patrick Mahomes pretty much does, though. Like
Yeah.
he just honestly just puts the ball in the perfect spot every single time.
You break your fingers if your hand gets in the way. So, um,
I'm I'm very happy with how good of a player Patrick Mahomes is.
yeah, same.
I think that he is going to definitely be one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history.
Oh,
I think he's top. He's definitely top 5.
undisputed top 3, undisputed.
Ooh, you think undisputed top 3?
Right now, undisputed top 3.
No.
To me, yes.
Okay, undisputed top 3.
Tom Brady, you could make an
Manning.
argument for who you want it to. Manning is probably where I would go. A lot of people are gonna have
Montana.
Elway, Montana, and Marino. Right? That would be everybody's top 5. Not in that particular order. The last 3 you could make an argument anyway. But
I mean, probably that. I mean, can you make a point that he's passed up like guys like Brett Favre yet? Then, as you have also just amassed huge numbers throughout their career.
Okay. There's a longevity aspect to it, but you have to like if you compare points in the career. Yes, he came in having Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce for sure, but the defenses that he's managed to overcome to get where he is.
I mean,
It's, in my opinion, it's like the Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers debate.
I think it's too soon. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is better than it.
Exactly, but Ben came into a much better system, and Ben had a much better system for most of his career.
Ben Roethlisberger also to win some of these Super Bowls and to win in the playoffs didn't have to put up as many points. Didn't have to score as much.
Yeah.
Like opposed Aaron Rodgers, who has to essentially carry the Packers every time they play.
Yeah.
It's another one. Would you already say Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers?
I would say that he is a better quarterback, but I would not say he's had a better career so far.
I think if you put Aaron Rodgers with weapons that Patrick Mahomes had and the coaching he's had,
yeah,
I think you can get the same exact result.
It's really hard to be objective and put a player in a vacuum entirely, right? I think you would achieve a similar result. Like I think Rodgers would have had more than one Super Bowl in his career, but
And he's never had an offensive coach like Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I think that's something else that I think you can get these kind of results if you have a great coach with an amazing quarterback as well.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, Tom Brady had Bill Belichick for such a long time.
He also had a top defense for forever.
And he had multiple top defenses and a couple of really good targets.
Yeah.
Mahomes has had a bunch of solid teammates as well throughout his career. I mean, it's never just the quarterback by himself.
No, and that's why, like, when you look at positions like wide receiver and things like that, like, you can say that those are the most dependent pieces on players around them, and I would tend to agree with that, because as a wide receiver, you can't throw yourself the ball. But when you look at things like running back, you have to take into consideration how good is your offensive line, how good is your scheme, play calling, all of that. And when you look at quarterback, you could say, like, oh, these are the guys that he had to throw it to, but how many guys could make that throw? And that's why it's tougher to actually get into that conversation.
How many guys can make that throw? That's the other thing, throw for throw. I don't think that there's too big of a difference between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, if there is any. I think they can both make about the same amount of throws. Aaron Rodgers had the same exact arm strength as Mahomes.
Okay. I'll give you the strength for sure. And the accuracy, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest deep ball throwers that the game has ever seen, if not the greatest. Definitely. I think it's all a matter of preference, like what you consider to be the greatest of all time, what you value in a quarterback. I think for me, the reason is Mahomes is on such a different plane from other quarterbacks in traditional or standard play, because you look at Lamar and how much he got dogged on for being a run first quarterback, and now you look at people looking at Justin Fields and they're like, oh, he's doing something we've never seen before, and it's like, it's just a different metric of success.
I think it's also the thing that's interesting about Justin Fields in comparison to Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is more elusive. Fields is just more explosive.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen a quarterback that scored multiple 75-yard touchdowns in a year.
No.
Until we saw Justin Fields do it this past year.
His Jets are nuts. But Lamar, exactly. No, you're completely right, though. Like, Lamar's elusiveness, I will still never forget in my life that spin move that he had on the Bengals. Yeah, I don't remember who the defender was, but man, you know that is being put in every highlight reel for the next 20 years. That's you getting cooked, sir.
But it was great for Patrick Mahomes to win his second MVP of his career.
Yeah. Unfortunate, though, because, the conditions surrounding it. Now you're going to have to break the MVP curse.
You have to be the first one to win the Super Bowl since
99.
Kurt Warner did.
Yeah.
So, how we get into that game.
Yeah.
It's the Eagles, to where this is the best team in the NFL against the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, so I think if you look at, like, the top 5 players, right, there's an argument being made that we have 3 out of the top 5 best players. But then when you get into the top 15, it's like, how many do we have of those?
I mean, top 5 players in this game.
Mahomes, Kelsey, and Chris Jones.
Kelsey. Who's the third?
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. Okay.
And the 2 Eagles players in the top 5 were
A.J. Brown.
It was Jalen Hurts, and it might have been Hassan Reddick. I honestly,
Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown. I mean, I do think the Eagles are much deep. The Chiefs are very top heavy.
Yes.
Like, if something was to happen to Kelsey in this game, it would be tough.
Disaster. Yeah, but along those same lines, we saw that happen in the conference championship game where we had one receiver left, and Mahomes still finds a way to get it done. So I mean,
one receiver left, but you guys still had Kelsey in that game.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Having Travis Kelsey is the key for this offense, pretty much, because he opens up so much on the field.
Yeah, no joke. Definitely. Yeah, so I mean, there's a few things to look at when we're kind of looking at these games. This is something that I wanted to bring up. This is from Doug Farrar. I'm sorry if I messed up the name. Everybody's been talking about just force Jalen Hurts to pass. And if you watch the past few weeks, it looks like Jalen Hurts has been underthrowing targets a little bit. But Jalen Hurts from the pocket this season as a whole, 309 at a 429 for 3,644 yards, 1,799 air yards, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Of all quarterbacks with at least 200 attempts from the pocket, Hurts' passer rating of 109.9 is the NFL's best, and his EPA from the pocket is 56.58, fifth best. I do agree that since his shoulder injury, we've seen a little bit more conservation and a little bit more underthrowing from Hurts.
But I
But
think he'll be fine by the Super Bowl. Like
yeah,
I think Jalen Hurts is gonna still ball out.
oh, same. Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be honestly offensively for the Eagles. Can you keep the run game going? If the Eagles can establish the run this game, it might just be a wrap because they can just ball control for such a long period of time.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, then they can start sprinkling play action and RPO passes on top of it.
Yeah,
And
so that's you're exactly right. Like the Eagles, their RPO, and that's what we've been talking about all week. Is you said, can they RPO us to death? And they probably can. It really just depends on how Spags is gonna adjust our defense to what they're doing. So another thing that we were talking about before we started recording, a few more statistics, interesting things. Been hearing all week. Mahomes has 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions in his Super Bowl appearances. Okay, whatever. I've heard that enough.
The Bucks game was the Bucks game,
Should
people.
not
Like
count.
that. Like he didn't throw a touchdown in that game and threw like 2 picks. Like it.
Mahomes is 50% on converting third downs in the playoffs. Mahomes is 12-1 in his career against number 1 ranked defenses, and we talked about this before. How many of the games were without Tyreek? 2 of them, that was the 49ers this year and the Broncos this year. If we look at...
We can make a point to why he won those games.
Yes, oh, definitely.
We can make some points.
The Brock Purdy game, and then...
Russell Wilson's...
Dog shit, yeah.
Oh.
He had a dog shit year.
Dog shit and a swindler.
Oh my god, yeah, true. Yeah, we need to talk about that first.
Russell Wilson's foundation has only been donating
32
cents. Actually, it was like 24 cents of every dollar was actually going towards the actual like cause. The rest of it was going to like employees' salaries.
Yeah, which was like the lowest percentage by a wide margin for like any
non-prof.
Yeah, any claimed non-profit
organization, which is awful.
Yeah.
Which is awful. Fun fact for everyone: my fiance works in the non-profit sector. When I told her about this, she was just absolutely shocked.
Yeah. And we were joking earlier. I was like, "Damn, he needs to raise more money to put more bathrooms in that house."
I know. They're legitimately just using it as a way to get around taxes.
Literally, yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah. But, anywho, this is going to be such a good game, Brad.
Yes, it is. So, the things to address in this game. So, we just talked about the Chiefs converting 50% on third down. So, fun fact, this stat can be a little misleading, and I will acknowledge that it's a misleading statistic because of the amount that the teams go for it. But the NFL team fourth down conversion percentage this year, Kansas City ranks second at 76.92%. Their home away split is pretty big. It's 85.71% at home and 66.67% away. Philly is 71.43%. That's fourth in the league. 72.22% at home and 70.59% away. So there's not too much of a disparity there. I would definitely give Philly the edge on converting, though, just because they have so much that they can do with the quarterback sneak and with those little options.
Yeah.
The only weakness that Philadelphia's defense has is something that we can definitely exploit, 1 to 9 yard passing. We're really good at shallow crossing. That's something that we're definitely really good at. Like
try to get like you said, try to get Kadarius Toney the ball in space. Try to see if he can make a move.
Kelsey,
Juju Smith-Schuster. Try to get those guys involved. I don't think MVS can beat Slay one-on-one.
No.
Or I just don't think he can beat him deep like he did against the Bengals corners.
I agree. I think he's going to do great at drawing some attention downfield, but I really don't consider him a large factor in this game. Like he could make one crucial catch, but I'm really not seeing a big impact from MVS in this game. Like you
Yeah,
said, Travis Kelsey, Kadarius Toney, like we were discussing. But I think the key to the Chiefs succeeding in this game is the Chiefs running backs need to establish early presence and stay healthy. We need them to continue run throughout the game. So I think it's great that we have CEH activated. And the last time that we saw him, he was honestly on a pretty good streak. But
and can Clyde Edwards-Helaire continue that and actually run the ball efficiently?
yeah,
And can he take advantage of when you guys block something up to actually make a big play?
that's what I'm hoping for.
Some other big matchups, your guys' tackles against the edges that
Yeah,
play for the Eagles. You guys have been slanting your line to the right almost all year long to help Wiley. Wiley's gonna be not gonna be one on one with Reddick. There will be double team help. Real matchup is gonna be Brown Jr. against Josh Sweat.
yeah,
If Josh Sweat wins that one on one matchup, that can wreck this game.
it definitely can. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. And on the converse side of things, what we need to do is we also need to load the box because I think our only real chance is stopping their run. So I think you're completely
The
right.
run game.
Their offensive line is so great, and I like you've been saying all week, we can't get RPO'd to death. So if we load the box and if we force Hurts to throw, even though he's been fantastic from the pocket, because that offensive line is wonderful and he's done a great job developing as a passer, that's where probably the most mistakes are going to happen.
Like I want to see you guys line up in some bear fronts, some pressure fronts. I want to see someone lined up, like a linebacker walked up on Kelsey, so Chris Jones can try to get one on one with Dickerson. It's going to be the best chance you guys have of
Yeah,
like getting real pressure on Jalen Hurts in this game is forcing that one on one matchup.
and even
I
then, he's been so fantastic.
Their whole offensive line's been so good though. Like that's also the other
But
thing.
even through his injury though, like dude, I can't imagine playing on like a partially torn or whatever groin. Like
Yeah, Lane Johnson.
yeah,
Yeah, Lane Johnson one on one with any tap, like with your guys' edges, he's not going to give up anything. That's why you guys need that interior pressure.
yes, definitely, definitely.
I don't think if you guys line up Chris Jones on the edge at any point in this game, I'm just going to lose my goddamn mind. Like it's cute sometimes. It'll work against teams like the Bengals.
Yeah,
But if you do it against Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata,
no,
it's not going to work. And guess what? They can also just read you.
yeah,
Like Jalen Hurts is more athletic than most of your team on defense.
no, all of them, everyone.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't say all. I wouldn't say all. Like that's like I think McDuffie's pretty athletic. I think honestly Willie Gay Jr. and Nick Bolton are athletic.
yeah. Our
It's not dis-
Justin Reed is pretty good too, but
Yeah, but also even if you guys can't get pressure on Jalen Hurts, can you bring him down for a sack? Can you guys finish? Because Jalen
probably
Hurts is
not.
strong.
Yeah,
Strong,
dude,
man.
his legs are so. Yeah, let's talk
From
about
multiple
that too.
spots.
Yeah, so first of all, you want to talk about explosiveness in a quarterback. He's like a hybrid of Lamar and Fields, where he doesn't do either thing like exponentially like better than either of them, but he is a great both elusive and explosive runner. Like if he needs to get 10 oh, there goes your face cam. If he needs to get 10 yards, he definitely will. Welcome back. Um, he can definitely.
He's a good power runner.
Yes.
Like you said, he's strong in his lower body. He can get the tough yards he needs to.
Yeah,
That's why this team's so good in quarterback sneak situations. Third and short, fourth and short. They're going to convert about, like you said, about 70-some% of the time.
71, yeah, somewhere in there.
Yep.
And it's not just the quarterback sneaking; it's having those options because you have a deep running back room and such a great offensive line. I mean, you can even get some options like Devontae Smith on the outside, or just get some receiver
Or
options
even
outside.
Dallas Goddard.
Yeah.
Like, even just get the ball to your tight end. That's the other thing that makes Philly so hard to defend. They have so many different ways they can beat you.
Definitely.
And also, Philly is just so deep at almost every position.
Everything.
And
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough game for you guys. And
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think Philly's losing this game. I think they're confident. I think they're ready, and I think this game is gonna. I think Philly's gonna put up 35 points on you guys, and that's gonna be enough.
I'm seeing so many people saying I'm seeing the numbers. It's like over 70% of bettors are betting on Philadelphia. They have like what more than $4 million bets placed on Philly money line by now.
I know,
And it's like to bet against Mahomes that much, you have to be really confident. I understand that it's best player versus best team. I get it, but you know.
isn't like he's playing against a shitty quarterback. Though is the thing.
I agree.
If he was playing against a great team with a shit quarterback,
Yeah.
that would be different. Jalen Hurts is a legit quarterback.
No, I agree with. I'm right there with you on that. I love Jalen Hurts. I've tried to trade for him in Dynasty because I think that he is really great. I love what he does.
I think Jalen Hurts is on that level of like, with like, he's better than Kyler Murray.
You
I
think
would
so?
say I think he's probably a little bit better than Kyler at this point.
Okay.
I would say he's probably like just a little. He's almost on like the same level as like Justin Herbert and Josh Allen.
Okay. So
I think the money's the thing that's going to come up this offseason that's going to suck for the Eagles.
no joke, yeah, because they have a lot to deal with.
A lot to deal with, and also Kelsey might retire. Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, you know what? If he wins the Super Bowl, 100%, not a question.
He should. He should retire
Yes.
if he wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, like you're probably not gonna make it back to another one.
Probably not. It's
odds
anything's
are-
possible, but
Well, and the odds of repeating in this era are so slim.
definitely 100% agree.
They're
So,
so good. So
speaking
I gave
of-
my prediction 35-30 Eagles over Chiefs.
Now, I have thought about this, right? And I acknowledge my bias, right? Because that's an important thing to do in every aspect in life. But at the end of the day, give me the Chiefs 31-30.
Honestly,
I think we're going to do a great job of
Ooh.
establishing the run.
wait, 31-30. Are you guys gonna go for two at the end?
No, I have it 28-30, and then I was kicking a field goal.
goal.
Yep.
Ooh. What if you know? It'd be such an awful feeling. You guys get in field goal range.
And
just
Butker
get
misses.
blocked.
Oh, that too.
Blocked was almost worse.
Yeah, no, that would be worse. That definitely would be. Well, I mean, not for Butker. Butker would just feel like dog shit for missing more than getting it blocked. But
Getting it blocked on more, someone else is gonna feel like shit unless
Yeah.
like multiple guys just get ran through.
yeah, so for me, I really just can't bet against my team. I think that's like everything in my heart and soul is telling me that we are going to make the necessary adjustments and the necessary plays to be able to win this game. I know
If you
Philadelphia
listen to-
is a wonderful team. I won't feel shit either way. I loved both of these teams. I'm very happy that we're going to see another great black quarterback winning a Super Bowl either way.
Regardless, yeah.
And both of these teams were my Super Bowl picks, other than 49ers pre-Trey Lance injury. But I feel great about it either way. I'm just happy to be here.
Also, you're in a place where you're set, where you had the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about, you can make a case for top 5 quarterback in NFL history, maybe the best quarterback to ever play.
Yep.
You have that kind of player, like it levels the playing field a little bit.
Definitely. And I just love the Kelsey brothers. I really do. I love listening to New Heights.
I know. Well, I'm so excited that they did that podcast,
Yeah,
and
the same.
it's also going to just be fun that one of them is going to win this.
Yeah. I just such an exceptionally talented family and my favorite brother tandem in the NFL. So,
And no matter what, I think this is going to be an entertaining Super Bowl.
definitely. And again, I think people are underrating Kansas City's defense. I do think we have a pretty good defense, especially
Your guys'
stepping up in the
defense-
playoffs.
Playing really well, and I don't think anyone's giving them enough credit.
Especially the young guys. They're not getting any credit. Everybody will talk about, like, oh, McDuffie's a stud. Like, yes, he is. I'm not seeing more about it.
Especially when you guys are getting in like dime, and you guys are bringing in Cook as well as like a dime linebacker, and like Dana's coming in and playing on the defensive line.
So I talked about this for the Bengals game, and I'm going to talk about it again. Um, I think I talked. Well, actually, I might have talked about it for the Jacksonville game. Something that I would really like to see, and we talked about this before the show. I would like to see Mahomes running some bootlegs, but I don't want him to try to throw blocks. Obviously, I don't want him to do any of that. But I just want to see some little veer routes. I want to see some little things like we saw very early on in the Jacksonville game, where you
Just
give the ball
get
to
him out of the
McKinnon,
pocket.
get the ball
Get him
to
out of the pocket.
McKinnon outside, and let him go.
I get, like you said, get Mahomes out of the pocket, run a lot of screens, do things, run a bunch of trap plays, do things
Yes.
to slow down his defensive line, because you want to be doing that all game too.
Yeah.
Because their defensive line's deep. You're not going to be able to tire them out at any point.
No.
They're like they have enough rotation players for like 3 defensive lines.
No joke. Yeah, you are absolutely right about that, and it's really going to come down to how can we use our pieces versus how many pieces do they have. I think is really the best way of saying it because, like you just mentioned, the Eagles' depth at every position, especially defensive line, and I mean their secondary is still pretty deep, even with a few injuries and arrests. Oh no, that was on the offensive line. That was in the secondary. Um, the Eagles still have. They're just so many, and they're all good, if not great.
Helps that Gardner Johnson came back.
Yes.
Gardner Johnson gives them a lot of versatility as well, since he can play both safety and slot corner.
Yes.
So that's going to come in handy. I could see that being the matchup with Travis Kelce that really makes a big difference in this game too.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. I guess I was thinking more.
More of their linebackers on Kelce.
Yeah, but
I would have Gardner Johnson on him the whole game. I wouldn't move Gardner Johnson off him for a moment.
it's a solid game plan. Philly, don't listen to that.
I don't listen.
You know,
I like you can run a bunch of different things with Gardner Johnson. You can
Yeah.
also do a bunch of things to take away Kelsey. But I like the idea of them doing something similar that the Chargers like to do a lot with Derwin James.
Okay. Yeah, man,
And
Derwin's a fucking stud for real.
Derwin is a stud.
Uh,
Low key, if Gardner Johnson never got hurt this year, though, he would have led the league in interceptions.
oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I loved him when he was on the Saints, and I was very very happy to see him come here. I really was a big fan all year of what Philly was doing. I think Philly is probably going to try their hand at a similar strategy to what the Chiefs are expected to do, where they're going to try to get out some just very quick and early screen passes and some shallow crossing routes, things like that, just to establish that pass. But I do think that they're going to take one deep shot pretty early on to back us up.
Right. Prior to AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, exactly.
AJ Brown's there. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. It doesn't matter. Either one of them.
You know, I think Devontae would probably be the better target, but I think they really want to draw attention and coverage early to AJ so that Devontae can shred. That's kind of how I'm looking at the game.
That or like AJ Brown's also really good, just the ball in his hands as a runner.
Yes.
So that could also be a big like bunch of tunnel screens to him would be nice to see.
Oh God, yeah. The over or under right now. AJ Brown 4 receptions.
Over.
I'm taking the over as well. Yeah, I think he's gonna have less than 6.5. I would say 6 is like the maximum. I wouldn't bet over 5 personally, but
Do you think Josh Sweat gets a sack in this game?
oh. So I have Hassan Reddick getting 1 to 1.5. Josh Sweat probably finds at least half of one. He probably at least assists, but
I think Josh Sweat's going to be, like I said earlier, he's going to be the difference maker in this game.
Yeah.
I think he's going to take Brown the woodshed in this game,
very possible.
and him coming off the edge is going to be what is going to rattle Mahomes enough.
I hope not. I really do.
It's like, especially when Philly gets in that bear front
Mm.
where they have a nose tackle, defensive end, and also Hassan Reddick
Yeah.
on one side, it gets a little gnarly to deal with.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine like Imagine this.
Like having
Watching this video.
Hargraves.
Imagine this. You're a 5'10" running back. Okay? You're looking up at Jordan Davis, who is 6'8" and what, 375?
Yeah, something along those lines, like 360, 350.
You have to run through that.
Yeah. And then when he's not on the field, Linval Joseph's on the field.
Yeah. Who's still a big MF.
And
yeah.
then you still have to deal with Fletcher Koch, Javon Hargraves,
Yeah.
Ndamukong Suh.
God. Sue's done really well. I would describe
Sue's a great
Sue,
rotational defensive tackle.
yeah, I was gonna say like a rotational or a role player, one of those two. I think, yeah, the way the niche that he's filled in this Philly defense,
For both, like, as a run stopper, but that can also get out the pass as well. I'm here for it.
he's ring chasing. We know,
also,
but
Brandon Graham having the best year of his career.
yeah,
That's someone else that if they win the Super Bowl, Brandon Graham's retiring.
oh, I could definitely see that 100%.
Brandon Graham's retiring. I think Fletcher Cox would keep playing a little bit longer.
I'm upset we didn't get him because I know there was definite talk of him coming to KC, but
I know.
But you know,
He's still good. He's still good after this year.
how much is he gonna want if they win the Super Bowl though?
Probably nothing. He'll probably walk away.
Yeah.
I play for another team at that point.
Yeah.
Why risk your body more?
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
When you already when this would be like for Cox and Graham, this would be both their second Super Bowl.
Yeah. Fletcher Cox, Hall of Famer or no? Ring of Honor, yes. Hall of Fame, no, in my opinion.
Yes, Ring of Honor, 1,000% yes. Hall of Famer.
I don't think so.
You can definitely make a case for it.
You could make a case for it, but okay.
Maybe not first ballot.
No, I was gonna say maybe third ballot. Probably not even second.
Maybe. Fletcher Cox is a Hall of Famer. I'd say he's a Hall of Fame defensive tackle.
Okay.
I would say he was like consistently throughout his career, like a top 5 interior defensive player for most of his career.
Okay. I don't think he's going to be like right when he retires, but like
No.
maybe like third ballot.
Isn't like it's Aaron Donald either,
Nope.
to where like it's where he's the best defensive tackle to maybe play.
But you're right. He was always considered
He was always like one of the better
Not-
defensive tackles.
not necessarily elite, but always great. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say elite. Like top 3 position is elite. There's a bunch of years where Fletcher Cox was up there top 3 at his
Yeah.
position.
Fair
Right
enough.
there with
I concede the point. Fair
Chris Jones and Aaron Donald.
enough. I try to refrain from the ones that I know I'm biased on because Chris Jones for me, you know,
Chris
my
Jones is
opinions.
gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, definitely, but
Chris Jones isn't as good as Aaron Donald, though.
no, definitely not. No, it's really hard to find someone who is.
Yeah. No, I mean, you would have to like look at like guys like Mean Joe Green at that point, like the best to ever play D tackle.
And then you have to get into the era and the scheming and yeah.
Well,
So
everyone.
who is your Super Bowl MVP?
Ooh.
That's the last one I wanted to do.
Last one, Super Bowl MVPs. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts,
I think Jalen Hurts is Super Bowl MVP.
Jarek McKinnon.
Jarek McKinnon, I
changed my
like it.
pick.
Dark horse. You think he's gonna score a couple of touchdowns, huh?
I think he's gonna get one, but I think just the way that he plays the game is going to enable us to get the victory.
He's gonna have like 200 yards receiving, 5 yards rushing, something
no.
like that.
No, I'm thinking at least 80 yards receiving is what I'm hoping for.
And like 6 rushing yards.
No, probably.
That is so Jarek McKinnon, though. He's a great
Oh,
receiver,
definitely.
but like
I would give him like 18, 20.
you can tell by the way Jarek McKinnon plays running back that he used to be a quarterback.
Can you? I don't know. By the way, he
Definitely
runs probably.
can.
Okay. Dude, I'm really
The way he does it in the passing game, it's a
yes.
compliment. It's
Okay,
not an
there you go.
insult.
Okay,
It is a compliment because especially the way he attacks the passing game, he goes to spots that he knows Patrick Mahomes are comfortable with.
gotcha.
I feel like some guys who played quarterback in college and convert positions as a pro,
Mhm.
there's almost a weird edge to it.
I believe it.
You can get more into like what your quarterback's thinking at that point.
Lamar, you hear that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I love Lamar. I
Josh Allen,
I
you
have
hear
Lamar
that?
at 2. I have Lamar. Yeah, I would much prefer Josh Allen. Well, his issues with fumbling. I don't know if you'd want to.
Yeah.
I love you, Lamar. Go back to Baltimore. We all want to see it.
I could also see Josh Sweat or Hassan Reddick being MVP too. I could see a defensive lineman being MVP of this game.
Not for Kansas City, bro. Unless you dismantle that offensive line, Chris Jones would be the only one I would remotely consider.
There's no one else that would. Like, I don't think Frank Clark's gonna have that good of a game
Trent McDuffie gets 5 interceptions.
as a rookie. Man.
Well, let us know your Super Bowl picks. We will probably post some parlays that we like on TikTok, perhaps, maybe on Twitter. Haven't been super active on the Twitter, but yeah, I was gonna say we should definitely. But if you are looking for one, I know the most popular one that people are looking at right now is Isaiah Pacheco, first touchdown scorer of the game.
Ooh, that's a spicy one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I don't like that one too much. I don't know. I feel like it definitely could happen.
I like Jalen Hurts' first TD score of the game.
Man,
Ooh.
I could definitely see Dallas Goedert being like the second, but I want to say Jerick McKinnon for one.
Man,
I think Tony gets a touchdown in this game anytime.
no matter what, I'm just so excited for this game.
Yes,
and
same.
I don't think it's gonna be boring by any means.
No. I think both quarterbacks alone are enough to make this game exciting.
Exactly.
I can't stop smiling because I'm just so happy about it. I just can't wait to watch it.
I know. One more sleep.
I might not, to be honest with you.
Everyone, thank you for coming to the Pitch Pass podcast. And me, Brando, my co-host Brett. We're excited for the Super Bowl, just like you.
If you
Thanks
have
for
made it
spending
this
this
far,
time before the game with us.
thank you. If you have made it this far in the video, comment Twizzlers, because I have a bag sitting next to me, and that's the first thing I thought of, Twizzlers, in the comments.
And like and subscribe.
Peace out, y'all.